So take us back to the day that we were in the car and you had just got back from Haiti, and when you told me what our next plan and step was.
Okay. So I went to Haiti on my very first trip in November of 2012, and it was interesting because we had some sponsored children through Love in Motion prior to me going, because my father and my stepmom are very involved with Love in Motion. They actually met 15 years ago on the November Haiti mission team with Love in Motion, is where my father met my now stepmom. They had always spoken about their trips and how much they enjoyed them. So it was just something that I really wanted to do. I prayed a lot about it because I just wasn't sure of when the timing was going to be right. He was concerned about my safety and that kind of thing. So it wasn't something I took lightly, but in 2012 I felt very called and very compelled, like, this is your year, you're supposed to go. So I went down with the November team, and it was before I had gone, like a couple months prior. I actually had written in one of my journals, Hitchfit was in a phase where we were growing, and we were kind of, things were starting to come together for us as far as figuring out the gym situations and the online side of things. And I had literally written in one of my journals, man, I wish that it wouldn't it be really cool if someday we had like a school that was kind of like the place that we could sponsor, and we could kind of be a part of these children's lives for a period of time and just see their growth and see their development with time. It's one thing when you see videos and you see pictures of what's happening in Haiti, and it's a totally different thing when you're there and when you actually see people like living in these kind of conditions that you can't really understand and you can't really fathom like what that life would be like. I really don't think that in the United States we can even fathom what that life is like. I mean, literally living in trash and just having, even just walking down a street. I remember my first drive through Port-au-Prince, and it was shocking. There's literally just piles of garbage, like just mounds of garbage, like in the streets, and people are living in this. And I had never seen anything to that level, and I had gone on mission trips before to other places. I had never seen anything like that, and it was literally just shocking of the drastic difference in the lifestyles. And so it was a great team. It was the first time that I got to meet Fransley and Julie. And it was just, we got to stay right in Port-au-Prince at the team home and then go out to the orphanage to meet the orphans. And it was that year that Fransley and Julie had the orphanage, and it was that year that they were beginning a school. And so when you begin a school, how they kind of do it is they have to go in, they have to take pictures of the children and get their information, get their profiles, and then find sponsors for them. And so they had 25 children. And so I never can tell this story without crying. So that trip, they were going to profile the 25 kids. And I was taking video, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, maybe I could pick like 4 or 5 more that we could add to who we're supporting. Like we could do that. I knew Micah would be okay with that. And so I was just watching and I was videoing, and they just kept coming and coming. And I couldn't be like, okay, I'll just take these 5. And I knew it was a new project that they were starting on, so I didn't say anything right then, and we got in the team truck and we were driving back, and I was just praying about it. I just sat alone in the truck and I was just praying about it. And it was literally like God just said to me, these are your kids. These are your kids. And I was like fearful of, I don't know, do we have the money to do this? Like, can we afford that much? And the message I was just getting was like, if these are my children, then the money that you need will be there. There's months when, there's with 3 businesses, there's a lot of things that come up, but the one thing is like, there's never been a month that the money that was needed to send wasn't there, ever. And so it's just been, and then to be able to go and see them. And what's interesting is just the difference that you see between the children that are out there that don't have that opportunity versus the children that do have that opportunity. And it is drastic. I mean, just the opportunity to have a meal and to get an education, it makes a huge difference. And I encourage anybody that is in their heart to go and to see it firsthand, because when you're there and when you see it, it's a very hard thing to you can't turn your back on it. I mean, if you have a heart for God and if you have a heart for children and people in general, it's one of those things where if you go and you see, I don't know how anybody could say, I'm not going to do anything to help. And it doesn't mean that everybody can take on that much, but there's always every little bit counts, so even if it's one child or helping with feeding programs or just giving your time or just even praying, I think all those things make a big difference. So